Alright, hey guys, I am going to do the follow-up to that MDS tripod video. Gonna kill the sound on the video because like I said, the wind was crap. Took notes already, I reviewed it a couple times. Alright, so we're gonna start out with, I zeroed in the standing because I'd already zeroed the gun. I was just checking it because I got the Ultra 7 suppressor on there. So I wanted to see if there was a shift, which there was a 0.3 shift high, so I came down 0.3 and just left it at that since it's a 100-yard drill, not a big deal. Floated it later. And then, as you'll see as I get down towards the end, I was having trouble with the loading and unloading of rounds into the chamber because I was a dumb, lazy bum and I didn't actually lube my bolt or clean the bolt prior to and lube it. So as I said in the previous video, you hear me as I'm walking towards the camera, I was going to treat my gun with some respect and actually do that since I just don't know why I didn't think to do it before. So again, it was 3 rounds and then I adjusted down 0.3, took 1 or 2 more shots. You don't see them all in the video just because I don't want to make it a 45-minute video of me standing there talking to the wind. And then we'll move into the standing and the kneeling, sorry, high kneeling, low kneeling, and sitting. So while we're finishing up the zero portion, again, like I said, I don't know when the last time I touched the tripod was. Outside of just setting up in the standing and shooting. So I'm really glad actually that they came out with this deployment eval because it really let me know that I've been slacking on using the tripod. I will also say I normally use a 2-vetch tripod. This is a really right stuff. Which shouldn't be an excuse because it's damn near the same thing minus some minor differences as far as like the carbon fiber design. So yeah. All right, so standing tripod coming up. So this very first one you'll see I deployed my tripod like a dummy because it's been a hot minute and I hadn't really messed with it. So it basically looks like I have no idea what I'm doing, or at least in my eyes. I don't know if you guys can tell. But every single time I ran the drill, I got slightly better, which is good. Also, this first one, I didn't have a mag loaded, which really doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't make anything, change anything as far as like the actual function and deployment of the rifle. But again, since we were hoping to go for time, it did add time to my actual deployment and shot process. But again, excuses are excuses. After that, it wasn't an issue because I just kept the mag in like I was supposed to from the get-go. But you could see it probably added 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds, because it was basically pull mag out, put mag in, cycle bolt, and then get back to work. So that first shot, I believe, was the one that hit the black at like the 7 o'clock. And then after that, as you'll see towards the end, everything got pulled to the left. I'm still having an issue just in positional work in general, that I keep pulling everything to the left. I think just being out of practice, I'm putting too much face pressure into the back of the gun, and I'm pulling too hard with my non-firing hand, trying to control the tripod, which I'm obviously going to have to work on because it seems to be a trend for every position. Basically everything went to the left between 1 and 3/10. And then you'll also notice, which actually I didn't really realize I was doing it, but I'm overlatching the ball head, not the latch that links into the ARCA plate up here to connect the rifle to the weapon system or to the tripod, but this one down here, I don't know if you can see me pointing, the one that basically allows it to pan, tilt, rotate. I'm overlatching it, which apparently is causing mechanical wobble. Fortunately, when I went to ORD after doing this drill and working with Phil actually saw me doing it, and he called me out on it and corrected it. And since then, I've been doing it with the not throttling it all the way down to where it's fully latched, and it has removed about 2 to 4 tenths of wobble depending on the position. So if that's something you guys are doing, be aware of it. I can put a video out on it. Or throw something up on Instagram just showing you exactly how, like going to 90 degrees instead of going to the full, I guess like 270 would be the number I'm thinking as far as like the latch. Like I'm stopping straight forward as if I'm pointing towards the target as opposed to latching all the way over and pointing to the right as I'm facing the target. And you can see, so I did it again, and you can see the second shot, there's a huge jump. The whole tripod jumped like an inch, inch and a half, and I think, again, it's because I'm pulling it back, trying to do a push-pull thing, just because I'm out of practice, and it's causing the whole system to jump back and left, which is not what it should be doing. All right, moving into the high kneeling tripod deployment. Sorry, I'm like looking at the videos. I'm doing it to make sure I'm talking in sync with what's going on for when I put this on side by side. You'll see here on these, I'm deploying the tripod much better. I'm not gonna lie. I practiced before I turned the video on, just to make sure I knew what I was doing and knew the heights. Again, new tripod, so I wanted to just confirm that it was the same as the 2vets, which basically it was. But that 1 or 2 dry runs made me perform much better as far as deployment of the tripod. But you'll see my non-firing hand here inconsistent. I kind of don't know what I'm doing. I'm moving the hand like thumb up, hand down. It's almost like I'd never done this before, but I knew better. Usually I always go pinky up, thumb down. And I think too, just with working with the latch, it was throwing me off because I'm used to running a hog saddle type or clamp type head before this. And I had done that for like 8 years because that's all we had. So again, basically just identifying things that I got rusty on or just like completely forgot. And you'll see too, this first shot and on this follow-up shot, I'm not putting the tripod perfectly lined up with the target. I mean, granted, it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up, right? But I'm basically just putting it down and then throwing the rifle on there and then pulling the whole system left or right to line up with the target instead of doing it correctly. You can even see it looks like I did it on that second one because I like looked down, but I really didn't. I just made sure the front leg was forward, and it wasn't. I think until I get down to the low kneeling, the next set of 5 after this, where I'm like, yeah, what am I doing? I should be lining it up so it saves this problem. I did get my hand placement figured out and maintain that consistency. Like I said, on this high kneeling, if I remember correctly, that was my best printed group. So I had 3 basically in the black, or just outside the black in that first ring, and then 2 of them just kind of went funky off to the left. Yep, and then as we get into the low kneeling, you'll see I do a much better job of placing the tripod where it's supposed to be, lining up on the target. I think I do it on the second one though, not this first one. We're looking right here. All right, making hands, make hand in the fist and a thumb, or 4 fingers and a thumb. Yeah, I just put it down and I throw the rifle on there. So it should be the one after this, I believe, or it might be one of the ones that I didn't record again because I only did the first 2 shots per position. Just again for the sake of the video length. So here you can see again hand placement inconsistent, not the same as the other 2 positions, which really is no excuse because I should be putting the rifle in the same spot on the balance point or just forward of the balance point for the length of my arm. And it's almost like I'm doing it different in every position, which could be a thing just because as you get into different positions, your body reacts differently, integrates differently with the tripod or the position. But it shouldn't be enough to where I have to completely change my hand position like in a whole new spot, which is basically what's happening. And then again, that's causing the rifle to jump excessively. My low kneeling, everything was very far left. It was a really bad group. Normally low kneeling is one of my better ones. High kneeling is usually much worse. And today, or at least for this video, the day that I shot it, it was the complete opposite. Then you can see, yep, on that second one, I lined it up correctly to make sure that it was on target. So then that way when I got it in there and latched in, which then ended up having to move it because I moved the tripod when I was trying to latch the rifle in. So it kind of just negated the fact that I set it up properly the first time. But it wasn't enough to cause too much of an issue. And I was able to line in, and then you can see again here, hand placement slightly different, but much better. And I controlled the rifle much better. It rocked straight back, straight forward. Although the shot placement didn't go where I wanted it, at least the manipulation of the tripod and the rifle and the system together was much more efficient. All right, and then this last group, the sitting tripod, we'll see again hand placement, every position. It was just ridiculous. It's like I swear it was like I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, and then I know I'm right here in the beginning, I'm talking to myself because I was doing math in public and I was like, oh, I'm short 3 rounds when I was actually short. I had no rounds left in the mag. I was completely short because when you have 10 round mags, you shoot 5 round groups. Each group will make you run out of 5 bullets, not 2 bullets. So I don't know how I thought I was 3 bullets short. I will say here too, and you see on this first one, my foot placement, I have never shot off a tripod like this with my right leg straight out like that. I think it was a combination of 1, being lazy, 2, 100-degree heat, so I was just kind of like flopping down and getting the tripod up. And then I never put my foot back on this first shot, and that first shot was really, really bad. If I remember correctly, I think I called out like 9 o'clock second ring, way out there. So then, no, yep, sorry, because I have the volume off so I can talk. Then I realized that the shot timer didn't hear the shot because I'm not used to shooting with a suppressor because I just got it. So I ended up talking to myself about how I need to figure out a better way to place a little shot timer to hear the little pew pew. So I just dropped it in front of the position of the tripod, which worked out better, so I was actually able to get a time. And then the second one, we'll see, same thing, drop the tripod down. I stuck my leg out again, just to get in position, and then I believe it's this shot, the second one where I actually fixed my leg placement. Yep, so I fixed my leg placement, which honestly, a lot of people might think that doesn't cause a big difference, but it really is when you've built a system and you're doing the same thing every time. Consistency will breed accuracy. And then you can see I finally fixed my hand position, and I get my hand, again, pinky down, thumb up behind there so I can lock my arm out better, and I get a better shot. I'm still slightly putting the rifle too far forward, I think, which again is causing me to pull everything to the left, because as you'll see on these printed impacts, I've got really crappy prints. So everything is left. My standing majority is left. I had 1 to the right. I don't remember what happened, to be honest. My high kneeling, oh, my camera went crazy. My high kneeling, much better, but everything is just like a 1/10 left. And then if you're looking at my low kneeling, actually, wow, my low kneeling was way better than I thought. Okay, I take that back. My first shot on my low kneeling was that one that was really bad at 9 o'clock, like 9, 10 o'clock in the second ring, and then I cleaned it up after that. And then my sitting, as you can see, everything is left. Just hand placement, pulling the rifle, leg placement, basically doing everything wrong. So at least, like I said, now it's identified for me that I need to train more on the tripod and do way better. All right, so that's all I got. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get this thing slapped in there and do a side-by-side so I can get this video for you guys. Appreciate it. Later.